All right, so I just got done interviewing for a job with this company called General Atomics. I think the interview went well. I was a little nervous at first because I haven't interviewed in like forever. A real interview since retiring from the Air Force. So this was the actual first interview that I've actually done since I retired. And yeah, I was a little nervous, but I handled it pretty well. Answered all the questions, and they asked the basic general questions like, tell me about yourself. That's the time where you tell them about yourself. Tell them about your experience, your background experience from whatever previous job that you've had. For instance, for me, I told them about my experience with the Air Force. I had experience with working with maintenance personnel, ordering parts for their aircrafts. The job that I'm applying for pretty much matches to what I was doing in the Air Force. So I felt really comfortable talking about, my experience, because I was trying to relate my experience and knowledge to what they're actually looking for according to their advertisement. So I really had a fun time doing the interview. I was a little nervous, but after, a couple minutes, I start to, calm down and be comfortable. What I like to do is look around their office and, kind of see what they have around their desk, and to see if there's anything that I can kind of like talk about certain things before the interview to get the environment to a comfortable setting. For instance, I was looking around the guy's office, and he had a few Funko Pops and Spider-Man figures and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, perfect, this is what he and I have in common. So we talked about that for a little bit, just to make the environment, the setting comfortable, and to make my nerves go away, because again, I haven't interviewed in such a long time. I was a little nervous at first, but after a while I was fine. I actually enjoyed the interview because it brought back some memories of when I was in the Air Force. We talked about aircrafts. We talked about a lot of acronyms, and that's one of the things. He was talking about certain acronyms, and I was unfamiliar with them. So, as you being interviewed, if you're not familiar with certain terminologies, acronyms, don't just nod your head. Don't just say yes. Actually ask them questions, because I was not familiar with a lot of their acronyms that they're talking about. So I would ask them the questions, and that's when it came up to me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's, in the Air Force, this is what we call it. And so, maybe it's a different acronym for the Army, the Marines, the Navy, whatever, but same gist, So definitely, if you're unsure of the acronyms or a situation during the interview, there's no reason not to ask a question. I think asking questions like that, it give the interviewer a sense of, oh, this person is really interested in the job, or this person really wants to know about the job. Always ask questions. Don't just nod your head. Don't just agree. Always ask questions. Be interactive during the interview process. And then one of the other questions that almost stumped me was, because they're looking for a person that deals with a lot of customer relations, customer service relations. And with me being in the school career field, he had asked if I had any customer relations experience. Since I haven't been in the Air Force for quite some time now, for over 7 years, and I haven't had that customer relation aspect, that almost stumped me. Kind of turned it back around, and I told him, well, in the career field that I'm in education, I told them that the customers I deal with are the parents. But yeah, the parents are my customers, and again, if the parents are unhappy, it's my job to make sure that they are happy and we remedy the situation. So again, that's how I related my experience as a customer relations position that I'm applying for. The position I'm applying for, the customers that I will be specifically dealing with are from the UK and any other foreign countries that are interested in purchasing drones. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting job. So we'll see how it goes. Overall, I had a fun time during this interview. I haven't interviewed since forever. It kind of like brushed me up with certain things. So I'm kind of glad I went through this interview. Now I just gotta wait for HR to call me and let me know if I got the job or not. They said they're gonna call me within a couple of weeks whether I got the job or not, so we'll see. Anyways, I had fun. I hope you guys were able to listen to my rant about my interview and some of the tips that I gave you guys for interview process. So yeah, wish me luck.